Today we'll talk about how to tackle packing your whole life to relocate overseas. This is a video about how to make the whole process cheap, efficient, very frugally, and to bring with you the essentials. And if you're actually looking to go through some type of spiritual process of purging your life from all that is not necessary, this video is for you because one of the biggest lessons for me doing this move was letting go of things I love, of making space for the new. Although it's one of the hardest things you can ever do in your life. Add the additional task of having to really go on the other side of the world. But if I was able to do it, you're gonna be able to do it too. Make sure you watch this video till the end because I'll share towards the end a couple of tips that made this move really special and meaningful. Tip number one, make an assessment of your belongings. So there's different ways of tackling making an assessment of your belongings. You can decide to say, I don't care, I want to bring everything with me in a container. That's very expensive. This video is tailored to who wants to do it cheaply and efficiently. In this case, you're gonna go through the tough decision of letting go of things you love. And that's where I come in to help. If you're familiar with Marie Kondo, she explains that things don't spark love, you can get rid of easily. You have to get rid of things that don't bring you joy. It's easy to get rid of things that don't spark joy. It's not that easy to get rid of things that you really love, that really bring you joy. So how do you do that? Stay tuned and you'll discover how getting rid of things you love can be positively reframed in a way that will energize you. And just saying this brings me goosebumps because that happened to me. This is definitely an emotional step, so I would not overlook it. You've got to give yourself enough time to digest the process of relocating. For me, that was 10 weeks. There was that sweet spot where I was procrastinating a bit in the beginning, but when I was 10 weeks away from the final move, I had to really focus, and it was great. Emotional preparation. Emotional preparation is fundamental in relocating. In this decluttering process, your end goal is that you're starting a new life somewhere else. Whether it's Europe, Africa, anywhere you're going, or even in your own country, even a town away, you gotta always visualize your end goal, which is you're relocating to a better place for you, somewhere. I had moments of huge frustration in the beginning of the move, and I thought I was never gonna make it. I was looking around the house, I was looking at my things and all the mess and all the stuff and all the things that you put in those corners that you forget in the basement. And I said to myself, oh my god, I'm never gonna be able to make this. Then I thought about the rewarding feeling of starting a new life. And you have to make room for the new to manifest in your life. Decluttering and tackling the emotional feelings that come up with this process in this way, with this mindset, it's mind-blowing. And so after this initial phase of resistance, I had true resistance. I almost questioned, is it the right thing to do? When I made this mind shift change that I'm talking about, where I reframed everything positively, truly what happened was a lot of coincidence or serendipity events start happening. For example, I decided I was not going to bring any furniture with me in Italy, and so the first thing I did was asked my landlord if he was interested to buy some furniture because I rented the apartment empty. He said, no, I'm not interested, I don't need anything, I need this place completely emptied out the last day of the month. Oh, by the way, people are gonna come and see the place. I'm gonna start having people coming to check the apartment. And I thought to myself, here we go, I'm gonna have people coming in and that's gonna be another thing to do on top of the other things. But something amazing happened. The first person that came to visit the apartment not only loved it, but they also loved the furniture. And they're like, hey, I'm really interested in buying some, if not all of your furniture, including the bed frame, mattress, stuff that it's really hard to sell usually. So I was thrilled and I couldn't believe it. And a lot of these coincidences happened because I decided this move was gonna be okay and it was gonna be awesome. We call these coincidences, but they're not. These are ways that we energetically align with our purpose, our biggest purpose or goal in that moment, and that just works. Tip number 3 is to sell. Sell as much as possible your furniture, your electronics, your items that you don't need, but you know somebody else might need. When you decide what you want to sell, and this, of course, I suggest you to start as soon as possible. As soon as you know something is not going to make it with your trip, you're gonna make a list, make an Excel spreadsheet where you list each item that you're selling, and you also create columns where you put, for example, the price you remember you paid that item for, the price you hope to make it, then a column for each platform you're using to sell it, and how you diversify the price on each platform. In this example, you can see I've decided what platform to use and what price to sell to each. The platform takes a huge cut in some cases. For example, apartment decor, I really didn't have a great experience. eBay works very well for electronics, much less clothing or furniture. I also used Facebook Marketplace for the first time, and it was definitely a learning curve. I had many fears in the beginning to let people in the house. Let me know if you want me to make a specific video on how to be safe on Facebook Marketplace. I was surprised how well Facebook Marketplace worked. Relocating, no matter how you want to slice it, it's expensive. You're gonna spend money to relocate, and so the fact that you're selling furniture or whatever and you're making some money, it's gonna make you feel so much better. At least it did for me. And having a spreadsheet to track everything, every movement, is just something that's gonna keep you grounded in the whole process. Tip number 4, take pictures of every item you want to sell, several pictures in good light. Of course, it's a no-brainer. Yes, I know it's hard. You're gonna tell me, how am I gonna find the time and the willingness and the good light to take all these pictures? The way it worked out for me was that I took 10 to 20 minutes a day for the pictures. I just broke it down that way and I was able to get through it. Tip number 5 is involve your friends. Tell your friends you're moving. Make a nice email where you blind copy all of your friends, co-workers, good friends, where these people, neighbors, and just say, hey, I'd like you to take a look at my items if you're interested. An extra tip is to put on each picture the price of the item, so that's something I didn't do in the beginning, and everybody was like, what are the prices, we don't know how much this thing costs. I really think that slowed me down a little bit. I could have sold more, so be mindful to put the price of the item on each picture description. The way you can do this, it's by simply creating a Google Drive folder with all the pictures and the items, and you create a link and you put this link in the email. It's also nice to reconnect with your friends before moving abroad. Trash, donate, and sell. That has been what has kept me sane. Another synchronicity that happened was the charity drive. I had so many covers, bed sheets, towels, things that were just in good shape, but not good enough to sell or not good enough to gift. But they were definitely good for some people that might need, and I really didn't know what to do with those. And all of a sudden, boom, I got this thing in the mail, and it said that Saturday we're gonna have a charity drive passing by, and that was so amazing. I probably gave them away 5 bags of clothes, anything you can imagine for the house, bedding. I was so happy to know that somebody in need might benefit from these clothing. Number 7 is create a decluttering staging area. Whether it's a bin that's just for trash, a bin that's for specific items to donate or gift. I even went as further as creating specific boxes for each friend. And even this is really good mentally because you start seeing the process, you start seeing the progress of the house getting emptier, shape shifting in this process. Tip number 8, connect ASAP with shipping service. Do your research. I personally use FedEx. Get quotes on how many boxes you're shipping, if you're shipping boxes, or if you're doing the container. But you gotta get that out of the way right away, because they're gonna want to know detailed lists for each box of what's inside, what's the value. You might have to pay shipping fees and things like that. Only you know what you need, what you want to bring, what you don't want to bring. So there's not a lot you can offset to other people. When you know what it is that you'll bring with you, that's when you can start piling up boxes and make lists on what each box contained. For example, my non-negotiable things that I had to bring with me were pretty much my clothes, purses, shoes, girly girl over here, so it's pretty understandable. But also my books. I sold and donated a lot of books, but some special ones made the trip with me. Or you can donate books to your local public library. Although I tried, they told me they get no more room for books. There's services that allow you to just ship huge boxes of books and they give you some pennies for it. One thing that really helped me with packing, especially packing clothes, was I put all my clothes in plastic bags and I took off the air. Those are really awesome to use. I also use some clothes or socks to pack items, so I wasn't buying paper for no reason. Last tip, and most likely my favorite one, throw yourself a going away party where you're gonna give your friends items. I really love to entertain, I really love to cook. I was coming from a period of my life where I didn't have the chance to entertain much. I didn't do anything fancy or crazy. Actually, it was even potluck because I didn't have a lot of time. Each one of my friends brought something to eat or to drink. It was so good. It was so good because I had all these things left around the house. It was really so good for them to be like, thank you for this pan. I'm gonna be thinking about you when I'm gonna cook with it, or the glasses or things like that. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about getting rid of things you love, things you wouldn't have thrown away or given away in other circumstances. Giving items to people you love, it's energetically healing, and it's just what the world is about. It's about circulating of energy. These people are going to remember you and you're gonna think of them, and through these objects, they're just objects, but it's the meaning behind things that makes the difference. On this note, I had a beautiful piece of furniture. I was having a hard time letting go. I ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace to a woman. She loved it so much. She's like, this is the piece I was looking for. And this was a vanity, an Art Deco vanity, a beautiful vanity. A little rundown, but when you love something, you love it no matter what. I saw in her eyes the same joy I had when I bought it. This is what it's all about, guys. I mean, relocating, it's already hard as it is. So there's also an aspect related to avoiding waste, and that things are gonna get a second life. I hope these tips will really help you, not making it harder than what it has to be. I relocated so many times. It is the most stressful thing, but this time was different. It was after a huge chunk of life, and I really was able to make something amazing out of it, and something that I handled with grace, with love, and very frugally. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please share with me your moving stories. Share this episode with a friend that might need it. And if you like this video, feel free to watch this one next. Ciao, see you the next.